before you finalize your annual goals for 2023, I just want to share with you just three very simple things that you must get right. Now, the first thing is your goals must be really specific and measurable. So as a business goal, I always set my goals of growing by 30% every single year. For those who have followed me a bit on socials, you might have seen like our 10-year plan to be able to go from $2 million a year to $27 million a year. And that keeps like the business, like goal setting as such, like really, really simple. So the goal is to grow by minimum 30% a year, right? And if you guys do that over 10 years, you build a bloody incredible business. It'll be absolutely humongous if you're able to do that. And I picked that up from a book called Scaling Up by Vern Harnish. Highly recommend you guys read it or potentially reread it if you haven't had to have a read of it anytime recently. But just make sure your goals are very specific and measurable, okay? You want to make sure that you have revenue goals, you have exact numbers and targets, and not just a goal of like grow my business, increase sales, generate more leads. That's really, really vague, and there's no accountability that's possible off the back of vague goals, right? But you might have a top line goal. You might want to grow your business like by 30% like me, but then you might have some other specific goals that you want to hit in terms of your marketing, in terms of your sales, your delivery and things like that. And again, every goal just has to be really specific. And if you master this personally, guys, you are going to become a better coach for your fitness clients because they make the same silly mistakes that I'm sharing with you today. And again, I never want to act like I'm perfect with you guys. It's taken me many years to get even half decent at goal setting. And I still don't think, in comparison to some amazing people out there that, I'm the world's best. I'm just kind of sharing with you what works well for me. And you just want to make sure, guys, with your goals that it's realistic. And to set a realistic goal, you need to have a look at what your business actually did over the last 12 months, right? So if your business kind of like grew by 50% last year, then potentially you could set a goal of doing the same thing again this year, right? But if your business maybe stayed the same and then you want to double it or triple it, right, that would potentially be an unrealistic goal. And what that is, it's like me coming to you and saying, I want to lose 15 kilos in 28 days when I've been putting on a kilo a month over the last 15 months. You'd probably be like, Jimmy, why don't we set something a bit more, realistic with where you want to go with your health and fitness goals? But the same thing applies for your business, right? You want to make sure that you use what has happened in the past, dictate what you can do in the future. And that's where I really love the 30% growth, because let's just say if you were generating 10 leads a week on average last year, to go from 10 to 13, which is 30%, which is massive, is actually like pretty achievable. But if you're like, hey, I generated 5 leads a week in 2022 and I'd want to generate 45 in 2023, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you don't have the skills, talent, or execution right now to be able to have growth that quickly and that massively. Now, can you do it at some stage in your life? 100%, because anyone can, but you just want to make sure that your goals are very realistic. And that's where I'd always use that 30% growth target. It's always worked like really, really well for me, and it makes everything incredibly achievable. And then finally, guys, you want to make sure that you actually spend most of your time mapping out the actionable steps for you to succeed.